Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm really pleased to provide a review of the wine pairings that I had at Anglais restaurant in Barcelona. It's a 1-star Michelin restaurant, and with their tasting menu they have two wine pairing. They have one that's for €65 and one for €100. Both are exceptional, and I love that they focus only on Spanish wines, so it really gives you a taste of the whole country. The sommelier there is Mario. He is exceptional. Really think this is what a sommelier at a 1-star or 2-star Michelin restaurant should be doing. He's so humble, but very knowledgeable, very relaxed, not pretentious. He'll give you the knowledge. He's very knowledgeable, but won't force it down your throat. So just as you're willing to learn, and he was going around a different table, he will explain everything to everyone, and if you kind of have more questions or show more passion, he'll explain more, but he won't do it just to prove himself to be an expert. He's just, this is the right way to do wine service. Just, you don't have to be over pretentious and tell everyone how great you are. He's very knowledgeable, and he identified that I was really interested and passionate about wine. He shared more wine with me, and in fact, it was so nice. He actually, at the end of the meal, was giving me some of the wines from the $100 pairing, and so I got to taste a lot of the wine side by side, which was exceptional. It just enhanced my experience. Restaurant is spectacular, and I will do a review of that restaurant on my other channel, Trophy Food Experiences, and I'll have that at the end of this video. So let's start off with the pairings. So the first pairing with the first three kind of appetizer courses is a Gran Reserva Cava. It's the Oriol Rossell, and it is their Mitic 1908. But it is made from two grape types, Zarolo and Macubo, and it is in Magnum. So it's a really neat cava to have. I was just blown away. Cava is normally, to me, very mushroom, but also very acidic. But I really thought this was exceptional. So my notes to this was, this is probably the most serious and complex cava that I have tasted. It was yeasty with mushrooms, but it had the citrus and creaminess elements of champagne. Medium bodied with a lime aftertaste, and it pairs so well with the courses that were served at the restaurant. So I gave it 90 points. Next wine, still with the appetizer courses, was the Le Clos de Peralba 2022 Betzinera, which is from the Penedès region in Spain, near Barcelona, and again made from a localized grape, the Zarolo grape. Really neat to taste again. These are type of wines that I don't think are super expensive, but I guess they're not easy to find. They're kind of the real specialized type wines, and again, first of all, I love that they were unique. Secondly, I think they're very specialized in low production. And thirdly, I think they paired really well with the food. So my note on this wine was, it's almost like a heavy style of Sauvignon Blanc with some almonds and salinity. I really thought it was an interesting wine, and I had difficulty comparing it to something else, but a really nice wine to pair with the appetizers or the starter courses that they had served. I'm here at Anglais restaurant in Barcelona, 1-star Michelin. I'm having the course right now, which is a pea with truffle sauce. I'm going to try and do a close-up of this. Don't want to ruin it too much. But what we really want to talk about is their wines here. So I take the test, the wine tasting menu, which is the lower end one, €60 person, which is also very spectacular. We start off with a great cava, a Gran Reserva in Magnum, unbelievable. I mean, I tasted this wine, and this is not something we see at all in BC. And then we start with a white wine from a grape type that is made more exclusively from cava, but the exclusivity of these wines is just unbelievable. So it's going to be a great match, and really like what I'm seeing so far. I guess Mario could see I was really enjoying myself going through the wines like very quickly. And I think we were waiting for the next course. So he said, "Hey, I see that you're kind of out of wine. I'm going to serve you one of the wines from the $100 tasting." And he served me Castillo Monjardin, a 2013 Chardonnay. So I actually didn't realize Spain made Chardonnays, and I didn't think they could age. So this producer, it is one of the very few Chardonnays in Spain capable of undergoing reserve aging. And I think it's because of the unique climate of the Monjardin Valley. The vines were planted in 1988, and the altitude is about 650 meters above the sea level. And it's very concentrated grapes, and they harvest them in mid-October with medium-sized clusters and golden grains. So again, I was very surprised. So my notes for this was I was very impressed with this, that it could age this long, a Spanish Chardonnay. I saw some chalkiness and waxiness. It did show some age and some oxidation, but I thought it was still pleasant with white flowers and vanilla, and it got about medium bodied. So I rated it 89 points. Halftime in our meal, and we're just waiting for our hack to steam. But the sommelier was nice enough. I drank out my wine. He served me a 13 Chardonnay from a region in Spain. I didn't know Spain made great Chardonnay, so this is like an aged Chardonnay. It kind of tastes like your kind of Northern Rhone style of white Northern Rhone wines, like Condro region. And it's got a little waxiness, a little bit of acidity that reminds me of Sauvignon Blanc, but it's a really interesting wine to drink. Next wine, which was paired with the P course, and again, you'll find a review of all the courses in my other channel, Trophy Food Experiences. I'll also put it at the end of this video, is the Dominio de Bibei 2021 Lalume. And so this wine is a blend of many localized grapes, mostly Trexadura and Albarino Cadella. And it comes from the Galicia region in Spain. And just again, a very interesting wine. All these wines, I don't think they're really spectacularly high priced, but they're really interesting wines. They're local. They're things that I wouldn't normally get to try. They've got different tastes and aromas, and also they pair very well with the food. And that's really the job of the sommelier, to create an interesting wine pairing. So I really enjoyed all the wine pairings and really introduced me to some really neat wines. So my notes on this was, it was very light, and to me quite not as much taste as some of the other wines, and probably my least favorite pairing of the night. I rated 86 points. It could be that I actually had the Chardonnay, which was a little bit heavier and more impressive before this wine. Next wine, another really interesting wine that paired with the fish dishes of the menu. So this is the Bodegas Frontonio 2022 Supersonica Garnacha. And again, it comes from a region called Val de Jalan, which is in the Aragon region of Spain. I love the idea that, I'm getting served different grape types, different regions, not just Rioja and Ribera, which, we can drink often. They're really nice, but something different that I just don't taste a lot of. And again, getting reintroduced to Garnacha or Grenache grape in Spain. You always think of Tempranillo as the dominant grape, which it is, but Garnacha grows very well actually in the Spanish market, and I just learned that. Very fresh comparatively, and a little bit more fruitier and easier to approach young than compared to at least the Rioja based Tempranillo. So my notes on this, again, it was a nice, relaxing wine to me. It was pretty classic Garnacha. It was medium body, medium tannins. Just a nice drinking wine that didn't need a lot of aeration, lots of herbs and dark fruit. So I rated it 87 points. This was my favorite pairing of the night. This was the sommelier's Mario was so nice. He gave me both wines from both of the wine pairings. So for the €65 pairing, you get the Vina Bosconia 2013, and with the €100 pairing, you get the Bodegas Corral 1994 Don Jacobo. So let's talk about Vina Bosconia first. That is the kind of entry-level wine of Vina Tondoria. And again, I was amazed at the quality of this wine. 2013, this is almost an 11-year-old wine. And it was still very good, still got life in it, really enjoyed it. And so my notes to this wine was it was tar with dried flowers and herbs and dried red fruit. I thought it was just as good as the Vina Reserva that we see in BC, but I think it's a little bit earlier accessible, so I really enjoyed it. It was showing very nicely. I rated it 90 points. Then the other one is the Bodegas Corral 1994 Don Jacobo. This is a really interesting wine. I see this very often. Again, this is a 30-year-old wine. This is a Gran Reserva, so that means it's aged 3 years in American oak, 3 years in bottle. I think Vina Trattoria is aged 5 years in oak, so a little bit more aging here overall, but Vina Bosconia has a little bit more oak influence. 85% Tempranillo, 10% Graciano, 5% Mezuelo, pretty similar to Vina Bosconia. My notes to this: dried red fruit, herbs, cloves, and black pepper. It's slightly on decline right now. It's medium body and it has a Mexican cocoa aftertaste. This was my favorite wine and just an amazing wine for me to taste. I rated it 92 points. On to the dessert wines. With the €100 wine pairing, you get the Castillo de Montiera 2017 Melante. And this is a really unique wine. It's made with the Moscatel de Grano Menudo grape. This grape type was almost extinct because of phylloxera, but recovered by this winery, Matiera. And it comes from a region called Val de Sedacia, which is in the mid-northern part of Spain. Again, such an interesting thing. I've never tasted this grape, never tasted this region. It's so neat to taste and just to try it out. It doesn't have to be expensive, but kind of a different type of sweetness. So my notes to this was it's a lot of honey, very dense, a little bit of vanilla and smokiness because there is some oak aging in this wine. It's what differentiates this from a lot of the other sweet wines that I have is the density of this wine. It's quite dense. Still medium bodied, lots of honey and lots of sugar in it, but that really stood out in my mind. Really unique grape type. Really loved trying it. My rating was 89 points. Next dessert wine I was served was the Espelt Airam, and I'm not sure about the vintage of this wine. Again, there was a lot of information, a lot of excitement, and a lot of novelness for me, so didn't catch everything. It's made from the Garnacha grape in a Solera process. It's from the Catalonia region of Emporta, and to me, it was like port-like in terms of its taste with some nutties and some cinnamon. My recollection it was a bit sweet for my taste, but really neat to try something different and something that I'd never seen before. My rating was 87 points. The last wine that Mario served me, again, it just kept on coming. I was just having a world of a time. It was like ridiculous trying all this stuff. It was the Gonzalez Baez VORS Neo Pedro Jimenez. So it's a sherry, and VORS stands for Vinum Optimum Rare Signatum, or kind of a very old sherry. And so this is just, again, I'm not a big sherry person. The region is from the Andalusia or Jerez region. It's made with ripe Pedro Jimenez grapes, which I think are mostly known in port wines. It's dried on esparto mats, fairly similar to the Amarone process, so it concentrates the sugars. Then it's aged in 30 years in the Solera system. So my recollection of the wine is it's got like molasses, brown sugar, but then in some orange peel and some botanicals in the aftertaste. I really like this. It was, I mean, it's not something I drink every day, but it was really neat because it was just something I didn't never tried before. My rating was 90 points. All in all, spectacular experience. I think most of these wines were like ridiculously priced, but they were unique. They were so, it took me on a journey of Spanish wines. They were very special because they're very limited production and very well picked by Mario to pair with the food. So I thought it was an excellent wine pairing. Really enjoyed it. Would strongly recommend this restaurant. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.